people, Mona, come on. The same lawyer where he win Governor Adeleke case. Now be the same lawyer we want fight for Peter Obi for court. Hey, this one red. No wonder that Oni of Ife come they talk say, I beg, oh APC, Adeleke, you people should please, Mokuna go together, please. I support Tinubu. For what did they happen? Hey, this case we win out there. Oh, independent. Oh yeah, Mokuna watch.
We thank God for justice, and we also thank God for the justices of the Supreme Court who came and saw justice and did justice in the matter. This is a long drawn-out case in which the respondent, my client, Governor Adeleke, went all out to ensure that he secured the victory once again after what happened 4 years ago. And then the people gave him the mandate to rule. And that is why it's commendable that by the grace of God that we're able to defend that mandate. So we thank in a special way the justice of the Supreme Court who actually saw where the justice of the case was and then ensured that justice was done in the matter. Thank you.
Our first reaction is to say that we are very happy. We are very, very glad for the judgment. This is the Supreme Court, and that is the last court. And once the Supreme Court pronounces on an issue, that is the finality of the issue. So many legal issues were raised, which are very fundamental to our electoral jurisprudence, particularly 2022, when the new Electoral Act was passed. So there have been issues, transmission and server. What is the implication? Which one do we rely on? Is it the voters register or the end server? The Supreme Court has settled that today as a mark of finality. You need the voters registered, you need the ECHA, you need the difference report. The three of them, they are the trinity that can prove overvoting. So they must go together. So today we are very happy because it has thrown more light into the electoral jurisprudence and guidance for not only lawyers and judges, but for the Nigerian community, so that they can understand how the system works, not just talking, but bound by the rules and regulations governing the election. That is the position, and we're happy. Thank you.
We're static.
This for lawyers.
This for lawyers. This no lawyers come.
This for lawyers.
Lawyer will come now.
Lawyers want to.
Lawyers, chairman will still talk. This for lawyers.
Okay, can you hear me? Can they hear me?
Of course, Olympics.
I thank the Almighty God for the judgment just delivered. when we were at the tribunal at Oshobo, we made these points. We informed the tribunal and presented evidence that the petition was not what being presented. And the tribunal ignored justice and delivered what cannot pass for a judgment. Today, the Supreme Court has said there is no scintilla of merit. No scintilla of merit. What a sad day for that tribunal.
Wow.
Now, the Supreme Court has, through this case, settled a lot of issues that will come before ongoing tribunals and courts. And that was why, as Inec, we tendered the beavers machines for the first time in Nigeria. So that today, that is the way to go. The Supreme Court has done what they have been established for. Doing justice, both according to law and justice of the law. There is peace in Osun. There will be peace in Nigeria. Amen. If other tribunals and courts will follow the spirit and the principles enunciated now by the Supreme Court. God bless you.
Amen. State Chairman, distinguish.
Allow us to go. Allow us to go.
Distinguish.
Allow us to go.
Distinguish.
Sorry. Very well. My name is Dr. Adeleke, the immediate past chairman, Carrier Committee of Osun State. Yeah, today is the day that Lord has made, and we are very happy that at the end of the day, judgment was given, and it has been a long battle. By His grace, those that wanted to take our mandate away were shown aside today. It was a landmark and unanimous judgment by the judge of the Court of Appeal. Osun's PDP, Imole has come to stay, and I believe that with this judgment, our governor Adeleke, will no longer be distracted. And of course, even in the last couple of months since he came into power, he has been doing so much for Osun people. People have been feeling his impact. And we are equally happy that by this judgment, we have enough time to bring the dividend of democracy to our people. Never again in the history of Osun State should they allow the miscarriage of judgment, judicial abortion that took place at the lower court to happen again. We praise God. We thank God. We thank our lawyers who have worked painstakingly day and night from the lower court to the Supreme Court. We thank all our leaders. We thank all our members. Those are members that have been very resilient, that have been very steadfast, that have been very prayerful to see that today we are able to come out victorious. Imole has come to say, Imole!
Well, as the most senior senator of PDP in the Southwest, particularly from Osun, we are very, very delighted that justice has been done finally to the Osun people. And as we are saying, Osun people now we see that the flowing of honey and the what? The democracy will now work. The dividend that we have been expecting will work fully with all the full complement of all political appointees, political structure that we have, from House of Assembly down to Senate, down to government. And we are expecting that justice will be done on the other higher level. Amen. So, Osun people, I congratulate you, and we congratulate our good luck governor And we thank our chairman. He's a very lucky man. We won all our cases during his time, and we won for the first time after 12 years. Today is a glorious day in Osun. By now, they should be jubilating because joy and light has come to Osun finally. Thank you.
And I picked Nigeria, its democracy, and the subjectification of truth. Nigeria does not, I'm known for my definitions. I'm not defining. If I'm going to talk to a subject, I want to define it first. And there are three key components to what I have chosen. Nigeria, its democracy, and then the subjectification of truth. Nigeria does not require any definition anymore. It's a blessed land, ruined by horrible ruiners who pretend to be rulers. It will be bad enough if what we have in Nigeria are rulers. That will be bad enough. Rulers exist in time. They focus on preservation of power, and they are rarely burdened or bridled by vision. They are content with surviving in power. That is what rulers do. Leaders, on the other hand, are bridled by vision. So they see beyond their lifetime, and they are constrained by their vision in the choices that they would make. Unfortunately for my country, as blessed as it is, it has been cursed by ruiners. Never been blessed with leadership. That is Nigeria properly defined. It's democracy, and that will lead me to the third part of what I want to talk about, the subjectification of truth. How do you subjectify truth? That is when you take a common precept, something that has universal application and meaning, and you bring it into a space, and it begins to have a different meaning because of the space of its application. That is the situation with Nigerian democracy, because you actually have to Nigerianize what we have before you might call it a democracy. Democracies are impossible to have in environments where the law does not rule. Citizenship is impossible to uphold in environments devoid of the rule of law. Nigeria is one such environment. In the absence of the rule of law, Nigeria is ruled by impunity. And that is why you would have situations where Inec would publish guidelines flowing from the Constitution, and it will proceed to do the exact opposite of what it had promised to do. But that is for the Nigerian audience. Because of the context of location, we must now talk to the subjectification of truth. Atlanta was my point of entry into the US on this particular trip. And as I was being driven to where I would be staying, I drove past a place and it was pointed out to me that that was MC Mushroom Pickens' house in Riverdale, Atlanta.
Oh wow.
A man could stand in broad daylight,
Very close to my house.
cameras on him, and he could tell the world, Yachukudi must not vote. He spoke as the state. The Nigerian state is criminal. MC Mushroom Pickens is not a government official, but there was a policeman stood not too far away from him when he made his edict. And that edict stood, and we saw it in its full ramification on the 18th of March. But how does this relate to the context of our location, the location of this discourse? Our American friends will tell us we have a democracy, and that is why Nigeria must be protected and everything must be kept quiet. We must have peace. They speak peace to us, but they never talk to us about justice. Those who know in Nigeria bring their wealth to this land, and you give them succor. They carry your green cards, they carry your passports, they buy your citizenship, they buy homes in this place. You convict them here, you release them to Nigeria. If they were drug dealers, members of the Mahane drug cartel, you'd be busy talking about all kinds of sanctions on them. You wouldn't allow them in your country.
Yeah.
But you have them living here. Their children are here. They ruin my country. I can't live in yours.
Yeah.
I visit. And when I stay longer than 3 weeks, I'm already having withdrawal symptoms. All I want to do is go back to mine. But you make my country impossible to live in because of your subjectification of the truth. You sit down on a day-to-day basis and you preach down at us and you tell us about just how much democracy works for Africa. But you do everything to undermine our democracy because you give succor to criminals in your cities. I can't open a bank account in America because I'm a Nigerian. But the crooks ruining my country put their monies in your accounts. I can't open an account. The only crime is I'm a Nigerian. A drug indicted criminal is about to become the president of my country, and you Americans are the ones normalizing the insanity. When I speak to the subjectification of truth, it sounds sometimes like, actually it's another word for hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of the Western world, particularly you continue to preach democracy, accountability, rule of law, and the rest to us. Your hypocrisy stinks. I'll show you. A couple of years ago, 3 years now actually, there was a massacre in Lagos State, at the Adeleke toll gate to be specific. The West has its highs all over our country. You got your highs in the sky, you're everywhere. We know. You saw what happened. What did the West ever say? I'll tell you. There was a debate in the British Parliament. A certain gentleman, I believe his name is Hart. And he spoke glowingly about how when Gowon relocated to the UK, he went to the UK with half of Nigeria's treasury. Well, I'll tell you something. In my tradition, we have a proverb. The thief does not do as much harm as the receiver of the stolen goods. The West has been the net receiver of our stolen commonwealth.
Correct.
You have helped to normalize the madness that has overtaken my country. Without you, we will not be in the mess we are in.
That's right.
When Gowon took the wealth of Nigeria, where did he take it to? Took it to Britain. Brought some of it to America. And it is the same. Gowon is merely a type. Every last two-bit criminal who has occupied public office in my country has one form of entry into this country or others like it behind the veneer of Christian correctness. You sit there and you legitimize evil in my own country. I'll tell you another one. A British general was recalled from retirement, and I believe he was sent to jail in addition to being recalled from retirement and dismissed from the army. What was his offense? He claimed about £50,000 more than he was entitled to in child education benefit. That was what this general did. How many Nigerian generals, civil servants, public officers have brought their monies into your coffers? So please, friends owe their friends the truth. If you guys are truly our friends, talking about Americans now, if you are truly our friends, don't preach at us. Don't tell us about all the wonderful things you could do in collaboration with us. And I say this, madam, because you are about the only one who's cared enough about us to even give us your ear. The fact is, I'm not talking to you as a person. I'm speaking to America as a country, its people, and the institutions that govern this country. The truth of the matter is that you have all these, your wonderful Magnitsky acts and all of that. Use it to go after the criminals running our country. I'm not coming to your country on exile. We don't want your exile. Friends tell friends the truth. Tell us the truth and stop multi-coupling the criminals running our country. Thank you very much.
This is Bod TV Bod. In case the first time you come here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more uploads.